just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Been a fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. I'ma get it either way. I don't even gotta say what I want when I want. They just put it on my plate. I could get it right away. Take you through my day to day. Wake and pray, make that play. Get some good at my place. There's some on the way, cause my bros on the way. I got stones on my gold. I got loads in my safe. Had a 7-figure summer, so I'm putting on some weight. Set up getting thick, so I put it on display.
When it's wrong, I make a joke. Everybody laughs. I know I'm funny, but I'm not that funny.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me one.
Mixin', fixin' for another big...
Okay, Coach. Well, with the Ohio River and the hills of Kentucky just to our right, we welcome you into Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they will be led out by their 6'4 quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 23 here on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Steelers under longtime head coach Mike Tomlin. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
On 2nd down, it's Connor. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. A look there at the defensive starters for Cincinnati. They played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone, and also
the big fella, the 20, 10, 5. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. He'll get only 2 there, and it's second and goal. Second and goal from inside the 5. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's been a little modest.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Here we go.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
On 2nd and 12, Roethlisberger throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. He'll have a first down past the 40. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long. Roethlisberger. He completes it to Bryant. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald.
Easy work. It's easy work.
A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, Samuels. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as It's a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a line. Does the big boy have the juice? He's at the 30. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. We talk about it a lot. One of the dangers of the long field goal, you got to kind of hit it low and drive it. That makes it susceptible to a block here. Not only do they block it, they return it.
And how about how well they did on the return where they didn't create a penalty? Oftentimes in that type of a scrambling situation, someone will clip, someone will block below the waist, right? You name it. In this case, though, that didn't happen. They formed it up, and he took it all the way back for a touchdown.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. On 2nd down now, Samuels.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Roethlisberger will throw. Complete to Bryant. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. On 2nd and 12, Roethlisberger. This one complete, right side to McDonald. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Vance McDonald, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Green last year had the lowest numbers of his career output-wise, 694 yards, 6 touchdowns. But, of course, there was a reason for that. He was battling a toe injury the second half of the season. And, boy, did the Bengals miss his presence. They limped to the finish line, losing 7 of their last 8. They are happy to have him back and healthy. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run with Mixon. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. They'll throw now on the final play. He'll let this go end zone for Green. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green, as time expires in the first half. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be?
We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And it's brought in by Washington. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that.
that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one.
And he's in. Steal. Xavier Grimble, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Time here to remind you that coming up later tonight on Sunday Night Football, it's the Seahawks and the Eagles from Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And then tomorrow night on Monday night, more Birds with the Ravens. And that's caught inside the 30. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A.J. Green, his third touchdown of the game, number 16 on the season. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
The kickoff unit in the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's going to be out of bounds here on the return at his own 2-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They start the drive with Cotter. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, not a game that you're going to about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Backwards from here, they did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on second down. And that gets him a little room as he'll take this up over the 10-yard line. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on third and just a yard. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 1-yard gain on the play. That'll be the call to the punt team as it's fourth down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Taken from just outside the 30. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Mixon with a first down carry. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
They'll drop the throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. T.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season. 2nd and long.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Single.
Back to throw here. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
Shotgun handoff to Samuels. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Keep playing hard, fellas. All right. 180. Let's get it.
They go draw play. This is Samuels. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense up.
Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to go up top again. And this is taken in at the 5. That goes for a gain of 31. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll give it to Nixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, his 25th touchdown. Tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Only good on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. This will be fielded at the 6. And now out come the Steelers. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now this pass to Vance McDonald complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. So they go pass on 3rd and 2. They complete it, but no gain. Should they have tried to run it?
I thought that running the ball in that situation is what they would have done because at worst-case scenario, you may bring up a 4th down decision for your team. Instead, now, they're not close to the 1st down.
Here's A.J. Green as he gets set to go again on offense. And I think we both agreed he could have a really good game with this matchup, but over 200 yards now.
I don't think we saw it as that good, and I think what really makes it special is when games like this are occurring, it's not just getting locked in and in the zone and on a roll. It's continuing to adjust throughout the game because, you know, the defense is kicking coverages towards him, trying their best to slow him down, and he keeps getting the better of them.
Yeah, whatever they've done, it hasn't worked. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd and 10. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Devin Bush in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys. Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They're going to look to throw. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage. So instead of the incredibly obvious choice of trying to punt it out near midfield, now they left their defense with no margin for error.
No, zero. And I don't care how much confidence you have in your defense. I don't care if you say, hey, I'm going to be aggressive because those guys can pick me up. You've really put them in an impossible situation because at the least you're giving up 3 in that situation, right? So I would have punted the ball out of there and given them a little bit of a cushion.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Here's Roethlisberger. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. I think here the score dictates you pretty much got to go for it.
Well, when you look at the scoreboard and you realize that 3 doesn't do you a whole lot of good in this situation, you're exactly right. Dial up one of your better...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And that score gives them a little more separation and a bigger lead.
A little more of a comfort zone now. They can do more things defensively, maybe take a few more gambles as they try to continue to extend their lead.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop them here on 3rd down. Now it's Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 40. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but
Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Chris Boswell on for the point.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Boswell good with the extra point, and that will get him one closer. 5 plays there on that drive, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now Joe Mixon, and an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Cincinnati,
sad like, who's that knocking at my window? They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she an. Why you do that?
Matching hundreds. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Named for the legendary coach and co-founder of the Bengals, here's a good look at Paul Brown Stadium on the riverfront in Cincinnati. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the New York Jets and the Cincinnati Bengals. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. That's caught inside the 20.
Pass interference. Offense.
Oh, they hate that. Wipes out the big.
So they would probably fine you for this type of a penalty. But when I was in college, you used to have to do up-downs for the number of yards that you cost a team in a big play.
They'll set up to throw. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got him in. Complete. 20. 10. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means you're...
And now look at him go. The 30, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And personally, what a start for him to get in the end zone from that distance here in the first drive.
And it has the defense tearing up their defensive goals for the game, doesn't it? Because nowadays, when we talk to all the coaches, they don't talk about limiting yards per carry and those things. They just talk about limiting explosive plays, whether it's through the air or on the ground. And anything an explosive play on the ground, usually, 10 was way more than that. They've got to go back to the drawing board and try and shut it down.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. That's complete. It's Bell. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, they try to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
They're going to have to do something with him. He was so sensational last week, over 200 yards. AFC Offensive Player of the Week, what do? You hold him?
That's a good start as long as you can get away with it. Otherwise, just giving up penalties and free plays for the offense. But I think you've got to do a combination of things. Chip it his timing at the line of scrimmage, have extra people in the territory for him. You've got to do everything and change it up from snap to snap.
A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back, and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead, it works opposite.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. They'll look to throw. Finding Green complete. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know. Coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Now Darnold. Herndon's got it complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To throw is Darnold. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. 7 yards there and a first down. Now a first down carry by Bell. It was Nick Vigil there on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn it.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Geno Atkins, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. 3rd and long, it's Darnold. Caught here by Bell. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. Taken in at the 11. Yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. On second down, here's Mixon. They get 8 yards back there, and they could use another one of those now on 3rd and 7.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're heading towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now back to throw. Going deep downfield for... He's got it at the 15. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Bullock good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Let's go.
Don't forget, later tonight, Sunday Night Football, we've got the Pats and the Texans from NRG Stadium in Houston. And then tomorrow night, Monday Night Football, it's supposed to be really cold up in Seattle as we've got the Vikings and the Seahawks from CenturyLink Field. Now Bell hit. He lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. Look at the big man rumble. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And it's now 21-0. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Looking to throw again on second down. Darnold throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Quincy Enunwa that time, and it's third. Darnold from the gun. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And taken right on the 30. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone. And
just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points,
it's caught inside the 25. He got 29 yards that time. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it's third down.
Ready. 10-2 stop. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch it.
They'll set up a throw. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on fourth. They run. He's got the first down inside the 10. And all the way down to the 5. It's first and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky fourth down call. I got to tell you, I'm shocked. When I realized they were running the football at fourth in that distance, I thought that was a surefire throw.
I can hear it in your voice because I'm the exact same way. No one runs the football in this situation, right? You've got to throw it to have a chance unless you're them. Talk about supreme confidence bordering on arrogance, and they got it done, keeping the ball on the ground to pick up the first down.
On second and goal, one man stands in the backfield, and that's Mixon. Second and 4. Got his man, it's Eifert. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They get only a yard there. Now it's third and goal. They'll look to throw on third and goal. That's complete to the tight end Sample. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Drew Sample, his second touchdown on the season. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. New York set to take the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Darnold on first down. Nunez got it, complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down. Got an open man, it's a Nunez. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. So we've come an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The New York set to take the field. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Again, it's Bell. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
He's got Herndon, his tight end. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Darnold off the play fake to Bell. Caught here by Griffin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? They sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. They'll go again with Bell. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. And they'll lead the 30. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Drake Kirkpatrick. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He'll let this go. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And thanks to the interception, the Bengals offense cashes in with 6. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. New York set to take the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But
blitz coming, and down he goes. Credit the sack to the safety, Jesse Bates.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. The shotgun snap for Darnold. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. That's where Crowder makes his hay in the slot. Jets hoping to see more of that going forward. He signed with them in March after the last 4 seasons being in Washington. Had 3 pretty good years and sort of tailed off last season due in large part to an ankle injury. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. From the 39, Darnold. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Back now in Cincinnati. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And it's taken in at the 9. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. All right, here now a look at A.J. Green. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen. Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense. And the Bengals on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. This is Mixon. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. You often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Back to throw here. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there for the Bengals. 45 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on? So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played. But you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
Well, let's see. Yeah, the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. They'll run with Mixon. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Jets are going to get the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation.
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Geno Atkins in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Back to throw, Darnold. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Geno Atkins in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been terrific so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 18. Very good return that time. 18 yards. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Let's go, defense. Let's get on the field. Defense. Go.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And deep he goes into Jets territory before being taken down. A big play there for Cincinnati. 42 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they...
Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead.
Partner, they're up big. They snapped the ball from the 15 for a regular PAT, yet they fake it and get it. Is the kicker's leg tired? What's going on?
I don't know, but defensively, now with this deficit, now you add 2 more onto that. They fake the PAT. That stings a little.
It definitely stings, and I know the guys that I played for, they wouldn't be as mad at the opposition as they would have been at us for allowing that to happen.
New York set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throw complete to Herndon. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. And by the end of last year, Herndon had solidified himself as the primary tight end for New York. Overall, second leading receiver in 2018 on the team behind Robbie Anderson. Backed his 39 catches, most among rookie tight ends in the league a season ago. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. To throw again on second down, Darnold. That's complete. It's Bell. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this.
It's lonely on top of the throne. I am a king of the pawn. Hop on a jet across the globe. I guess the world is my home and there's so many milkers burning my dome like turbulent air. I'm switching these flows. If you look at my neck, boy, I'm letting it slow. I'm sturdy as hell as a vessel alone. They showing me love in my city. Gangs ain't hippies. Women like Nicky know what I'm
not fit me, I'm bigger than life. Gave everyone dogs. I'm not a guard, go hard with a squad. I'm playing my part, but I'm LeBron. Wings of the team, I feel Jackson and hard. The homie calling from a cell. A couple of homies be making it. I just want all of them dudes to the well. Not worry about taking a couple of L's. Don't sin for me, just win for me. Don't kill for me, just live for me. Keep it real for me. We eat together, leave the bill for me like.
Hand on my heart, I give it all I got. Walk the walk and talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Hand on my heart, no, I give it all I got. Talk the talk, take it higher, that's a God. Never stopping, that's a must. Always winning, never lost. GPS, I never lost. GPS, I never lost.
Who do it better than me? Yeah. Vision on 2020. Yeah. VVS, Clarity. Yeah. Determination, laser focus, banging on they taking notice. Determination, laser focus, banging on they taking notice.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL 100 Game of the Week on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half.
And, Coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Let's meet the offense. Greg Robinson. Very, very talented.
What a man to set your offensive line with. Greg Robinson can do it all. Tremendous athleticism, great strength, just coming into his own.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Mayfield. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's going to air it out. And that's caught inside the 30. 36 yards on the play.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. Cuts it out to the sideline. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. A big run by Kareem Hunt. 45 yards on the ground. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. A look there at the defensive starters for Cincinnati. They really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
Baker Mayfield, in all likelihood, is going to be seeing a lot of these Cincinnati Bengals in the coming years, twice this season. And he got off to a great start last year as a rookie against Cincinnati. 7 touchdown passes, no interceptions, and 2 wins. Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a lot. The big fella. He's at the 50. 30, the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati, in for the score. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Now Bullock to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll run with Hunt on second down. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On third down, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
34 yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. The Bengals drive about to get going. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
They'll set up to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 6. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
He'll look to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. Mixon. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Denied on 4th down is Joe Mixon. And Browns defense stands tall. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag.
We playing to win. 180. 52. 52. Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Mayfield leaves it for Hunt on the draw. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice and ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field.
And something big, and we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
On first down, Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And that's complete. It's Green here. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They go play action here on first down. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They're going to look to throw. Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go. So now 4th down looming. Remember, these guys went for it on their last drive, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, even though it didn't work out, I would not be surprised at all if they went ahead and did it again. You
miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Darn right.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll look to throw again. And he will find his man. It's Kenny Brett. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. We remind you that coming up later tonight, Sunday